Hey guys, welcome to my long-awaited Q&A. This is the second part, and it's the last part, so let's get right to it. These next questions come from Nia-chan. Farofa Jagskiva Fragnora Pasiviga. Sorry, she actually did post that all in whatever language it is, but I'm gonna say I don't know. Her next one is also in the language she's typing. Odu no Dejina. Again, I don't know. This next one comes from Warpbait. Make oi I ho opa ina keki. I don't know. What is the best compliment anyone has ever given your naked body? Was it uplifting or humiliating? I don't really know. Go ask the people in my high school when I was in basketball when I had to shower with them. What is your favorite body part and what nickname have you gave it? Joe Jr. That's all I'll say. Because I mean, hey, I gotta stay classy. Is there an anime you regret watching? There's a few. One of them is Bondage Game, which is a hentai. But if I had to pick something that's not hentai, probably Vampire Knight. What would I do for a Klondike bar? Fun fact, I don't like Klondike bars. What thought goes through your mind at least once a day? Usually it's either, man, Kiwi is such a good wrestler. Or maybe it's just, you know, Yu Yu Hakusho is my favorite anime. But I guess you want to go personal, and honestly, I don't want to, but yeah. I do have a video planned for something similar to that. What is my favorite kind of food? Well, pizza is my favorite food. What is my hidden talent? I'm really good at putting off homework and like school projects. And even like house projects. I'm really good at like holding off that, I guess. Who would I push off a cliff? That's a personal question. Who would push me off a cliff? Well, I don't know, you're asking the wrong person. What would I do for $1 million? Well, pretty much anything except for murder. What is the secret folder on your computer? Well, this may come to a shock to you, but I don't have any secret folders. You don't believe me? Come over and find out. Would you rather be stabbed in the dick for 3 hours or be locked in a room talking to Monica Rial for 8 hours? Well, I'd rather be with Monica Rial because at least I can sleep because her voice just puts me to sleep. But also, I'm not really feeling a lot of pain except my ears, but that'll go away eventually. If I were a dessert, what would I be? Probably a Jell-O cup. If I was a teacher, what would I teach? Probably gym, because I would just have the kids run around and I can just play on my Game Boy or whatever. Or I could just sit back and relax and just watch TV while they just run around and do push-ups and shit like that. If you woke up one day to a knock on the door by your parents and you opened the door, what's the first thing you opened? The door, obviously. If I found the panties of a girl whom you liked, or Miasma's underwear, would I take them home? Probably not. If it's close by, I'll probably bring them back, but I'd probably take them home and just in case, like, they come over again. But if it's you, Miasma, then I would return them home, obviously. Or I'll just mail it to you, you know. What would you sell your soul for? Well, to be honest, I already sold my soul, and it was for video games. ¿Te gustan las tastas grandes o pequeñas? I'm gonna be up front with you. I failed Spanish class, so I have no idea what you're saying. What would be your choice of weapon if there was a zombie apocalypse? Probably a baseball bat because that's cool. What will be written on my gravestone? Probably Justin J. Chip of The Justin Chipman Show. Who would you choose as your sidekick? Probably Miasma from Gyro Media. If I were a dictator, would you want to be called Dictator? Absolutely, why wouldn't I? If I were chained to a voice actor's bed, who would it be? Probably Stephanie Sheh because she's short. Would you let yourself become a sex slave or endure the suffering? Probably sex slave. Would I hit up one of them bitchin' nightclubs in Devil May Cry Baby? Probably not. If you had to go on an amusement park date with your anime waifu, who would it be? And what would be the first thing you would do at the amusement park? Well, one, it would probably be Toru Honda, and it would probably be on the merry-go-round. Would I let Paul Heyman narrate my entire life? Yes, absolutely. What would I do if I came home and Jeff Goldblum was there and he was like, "Hey son, I'm your new father now. Here, come sit with me." And I had to sit on Jeff Goldblum's lap. That would be really cool to meet Jeff Goldblum, but I would be very concerned at what he's trying to sell me. How would I react if Kyoto Animation made a harem anime surrounding Todd Howard as the main character? Who in the hell is Todd Howard? Let's look. Oh, he's that guy. Well, honestly, it would probably be the best single-player experience, but it'd probably be a Fortnite clone. How am I doing? I'm doing alright. Why do I love anime so much? Honestly, it's one of my favorite sources of entertainment, and honestly, I couldn't really see myself living without it. You know, I've loved it pretty much all my life, and, you know, there are just some things that work better in anime, like romance anime, or maybe even science fiction, or maybe even action anime. You know, sometimes I just like it better in an anime. Not to say that live action and video games and all that stuff is bad or anything like that. It's just I do have my preferences and I do like anime, but I don't want to be biased, I guess. Anime is my favorite source of entertainment, I guess, but you know, I like a lot of other things. You know, wrestling is really awesome. Video games is fantastic, and I love movies. I love live action stuff. It's just I talk about more about anime on my channel because I feel like that's easier, at least for my situation at least. But when I get a bigger room or something like some miracle happens, then yeah, I'd love to do more than just anime. But I do really love anime. What does my family think about me being into anime and YouTube? Honestly, they don't really care, I don't think. You know, they're really supportive, I guess, but they just let me do like what I want to do, I guess. What if anime was real? Then we would be manga. If I could go on a date with any anime character, who would it be and what would I do? Probably go to the amusement park because I like that setting. And with who besides Toru Honda? It'd probably be Icarus. Sony or Nintendo? And this also goes into the next question, which is Sega or Atari. I'm going to jumble these two questions together because they're really the same thing. But I don't really get the fanboy wars. Like, I get, like, you wanting to have your stance on a certain company. But in my opinion, all the game companies nowadays have something that I really like. You know, Xbox has their Game Pass, which I think is a good idea, but it probably needs some work. But of course, everything needs some work. You know, Nintendo has their exclusives. You know, they have the Marios and the Zeldas, and Sony has their library, and their library is just absolutely fantastic. You know, if I want to play Sony, I'd probably be playing Persona 5. You know, Nintendo, obviously Mario. Xbox, probably Halo. You know, I love all these systems. And as far as Sega and Atari, it's kind of the same thing. You know, I'm more of a retro gamer, and I like the modern games stuff too, but I just like them all, I guess. You know, I'm not a fanboy. I don't claim to be. You know, I'm just me. What is the most expensive anime series that I own on DVD or Blu-ray? And what is the most expensive anime collectible or item in my collection? Well, which means like figures, posters, wall scrolls, etc, etc, etc. But honestly, I don't really care about the price as much because I just care about having the series. But I will tell you the most I've ever spent on an anime was, for a single series, mind you, is at least $54, and that's for Fruits Basket Sweet 16 on Blu-ray. But I guess the most expensive anime I have is Higurashi no Nakamura ni, but I got that really cheap. You know, I got that really cheap, like $12. And I always go to my fucking pawn store because they have really good deals. And I got Ergo Proxy sealed for $2, and that's really cool. But as for expensive items, well, I do have all 7 Dragon Balls, but those were really a gift. You know, I don't really actively get figures unless it's a pop figure and I think it's really cool. But usually the figures come to me, so you'll have to ask, you know, the people that have given me the stuff. But I have bought some wall scrolls, I guess, so I guess that's the most expensive thing that I bought. And the last question is, has this Q&A made me question about answering all the questions that were asked to me? And honestly, kinda yes, but it was really fun. And I hope you guys had fun with this, you know. Sorry it was late on the second part, but I've been busy, and honestly, you know, it's whatever, as long as it's out now. And, you know, I would love to do this again, but I will have to be selecting a few questions. I kind of did it here. There were some questions that were asked that were a little bit too personal for my taste, that I don't want out there on the internet, but if you want to know, just come ask me in personally, like through private message or whatever. But yeah, honestly, like, this was really awesome. You know, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this Q&A, this two-parter. This was a lot better than my last Q&A, you know, the one that was like 5 minutes or whatever when I was playing a wrestling game. You know, that was but I'm glad that I've managed to grow from that, you know. You know, seeing where I am now, yeah, I'm very impressed with myself, but I'm also very happy, and you guys are what motivate me to do this, honestly, you know, and I thank you a lot. It really does mean a lot to have 4 patrons. It's not a lot, you know, compared to other YouTubers that I'm a big fan of, but, you know, I never thought I would get to this point, you know, so it's kind of a dream come true. And please go watch the Sugoi Boys every Sunday live on Gyro Media, you know. That having a dedicated podcast does mean a lot, and it's really freaking cool to... It's really freaking cool, I'll just say that. You know, I can't even put it to words. But, again, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this Q&A. I'll see you next time. The next review is going to come out next week. As I said, I was a bit busy, and I got a review planned out with Gyro Media, as I said. So, look forward to that. It's probably going to be on his channel or my channel. It doesn't really matter. But, either way, thank you very much. I hope you had a good time. I'm going to get going because I've been talking way too much. But thank you very much.